welcome to part 3 of how would you teach a GMT COIN game if you had to, absolutely had to, with the British way counterinsurgency at the end of Empire. I've discovered both the gain on Windows and Steam for the microphone and turned them both up to maximum and did a little test, and it's sounding much better. So we're at the playthrough stage. I figured I'd play through up into a propaganda round, just to marry everything together that we've learnt, and hopefully everything as far as the operations and special activities goes were correct, and we can play the game properly. The political wheel is set where it's meant to, and since we drew this card first in the example and straight away we're interested in it, we went to the Haganah player. It is the one that for the Haganah player will, Ergon player rather, it does add the additional operation space when it is on 3, not just 4. And one thing I didn't touch on much was I did mention there's normal cards and there are permanent cards, and it's the permanent cards that'll have capability of sorts in the middle, and this is a fantastic feature in the game. It really does change it, and in addition, just to praise the game for its innovations, you do take a lot of the cards out. I don't remember exactly, it might be 12 to 16 or so event cards out, so, and blindly, so you don't know which ones, so you're never likely to ever play the same game again. And with these permanent cards, you don't know which ones in there, and you don't know what one's going to come out, who's going to get it. So to set up kind of like the rules or the situation of the game is one where you never know what you're going to get. And so I did mention also that normally if you were the Haganah player, it seems to be the orthodoxy to do your full operation and special activity and attempt to get terror in the city, especially since you're still on 4 here. I still might forget about that, so I'm just doing that. So with the permanent cards, I find, just putting them next to where they're relevant to is a good way. Like there's one that affects the clean up after propaganda, so you can pop that next to that. There's one that stops guys going to prison, you can pop that up there, and I try to keep the other ones basically where I can see them and not forget them, otherwise it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So instead of doing any of the activities, operations or special activities, the Ergon players opted for the event, which is the card, which means the British player can take care of the guys in the city, which I think would be the best option. So here you'd be looking to either remove them or to at least flip them over to active so they can't sabotage next turn. So with parole, we can move police. You don't have to move them any. You can move in the same space, or it may be considered out of a space and back into it, but that's allowed. Destination spaces, and one destination space, one per police. it's only going to get rid of one guy. I think it would be much better to activate the cells and get curfews also in all the cities as well. So that'll stop them from spawning, and it also has a good effect when it comes to redeployments. They won't be able to place where there is a curfew. Here it is, may move one cell to each city without a curfew marker. That is before you clean up the curfew markers and reset for the next 7 cards, or not necessarily 7, just because the propaganda card is mixed in a little bit with the bottom 3 of each of the 3 stacks. But yeah, I'll hopefully not go over an hour, and I'll run through that, and yeah, hopefully you won't need to hear my monotonous voice any longer. What was I doing? A search. Any troops to any adjacent. So there are in fact in a city. They're all in cities. Place a curfew marker of none. Every 3 cubes. Yep. So there's 3 cubes to start off with. Ding. Ding. And him as well. And I think being a full operation, I also get the special activity, and search is related to either a mass detention or a negotiate. The mass detention is generally only viable if there's either, I'd say, at least 4 cells in or adjacent, in and adjacent rather. That way not risking your political will being lowered by the dice difference down there. We'll go to negotiate, just to shift the Haganah track. So you just need to roll it and hopefully get a 5 or a 6. That roll was a bit sus, but I assure you it was legit. I didn't roll much. But with this here, the Ergon player still has their bonus action. And that's the British players done. That's all. Does it grant me anything else? If it's already on 0, then you get an intel shit. And that's all that does. So next turn, furthest to the left goes first. So just to go over, if you pick a limited option, it guarantees you go first next time, and that way you'll get first pick at the card, and you could do some other stuff. So in theory, I could have done a limited op and then done a big one, but a lot of the time in this game you do get distracted by the special offers on the events, and sometimes you get too carried away with doing fancy stuff that you're not worried about the core of the game. Let's see what we got here. Dovgurna. Captured and sentenced. Remove 1 cell from 1 space with troops to prison. Remove a cell from once, but that's pretty lame. Galvanized resistance. Place up to 3 cells total in any system. So placing them, basically, it's a recruit action, but without the restrictions of doing the recruit action. Yeah. Any city or district. So this is the standard card I was talking about. You've got the British option on the top and the Ergon option on the bottom, as you do with all the cards. The propaganda card has no options as such, it's just a scoring card. So yeah, I think so. Up to 3 cells total in any, so I could stack in one area, in one city. It just allows for a lot more options. Doing one in each city would be similar to choosing recruit and going with the second option, one cell, but you can't actually do it at this stage without the arms caches being removed. It is pretty good, and it gets them in. There's no curfew because that's without curfew markers. So even then, this is advising me to just straight up place them and not do the action. So it doesn't mention anything about curfew markers. So it's a get around, and I believe it's a pretty good option, I think, to get guys out on the board early within a round and see how that goes. So the British just flipped those guys again in a big turn, or would they want to card? What would be an ideal limited on more police? Any place to any destination. Let's just stand one destination. Yeah, I mean, there's already curfew markers there. Place a curfew marker, if none. At least for this map, you only get 3. I'm not sure what the other maps are like. I don't have any intel shits. To discard, but so I'll just do the same option and stop him from doing that again. And I get to roll negotiate. I've already fucked up the rules, haven't I? I should have been doing... Oh no, I haven't. I have played the cards both times, and instead of taking advantage of, well, that has an extra space, and now it might not, as I just need a 4, 5, 6. See if we can roll a bit better this time. Yeah, that worked out well for the Ergon. So nothing happens if you fail to roll. It's just so back where we started. Referan. Undercover police. Remove one cell to available from each of up to 3 spaces of police. Yeah, pretty good. Controversial killing. Remove 2 police to available. Lower political will by 1. What's he gonna do? Remove 1 cell to available from... so he can kick them off the board. So... don't think the Ergon player will do that. Instead, we'll work on getting, at least setting ourselves up somewhere with some travel. 3 origin spaces. We shall move to a railway. We'll probably move, we might move to somewhere where there's a marker. So we get 4 origin spaces. So I wouldn't be able to move a guy back and forth because he'd be part of the exceeding 3 being number 4, since these dudes are already in there. He could move to a district and flip. But what I'll do first is bang, 1 origin space, 2 origin space, 3 origins. I might leave that there. 3 origin space, 4 origin space, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Hasn't flipped anyone over. There's no need to with moving those guys. Well, to be more precise, you flipped them. Only it's an otherwise you flip them to underground. And with silent, I can do silence or propaganda. I did mention this is rare, but all the guys are active currently in the cities where there are curfew markers. So we're in a situation where silence is the only option. And there are, unfortunately, no underground cells occupying the same spaces as there are police. They've all been activated, so I can't do that. So it was a big action to move 4 guys onto tracks. It might pay off. We'll have to see. One cell available. Yeah. Getting rid of 3 guys off the map. I could do that. That would be remove 1 cell. I can remove underground cells. That's what makes it stronger than just removing guys that are already exposed. So currently, as the board is set up, yeah, so the police are already there. Chasing them on to may move any troops into one adjacent, then if railway destroy 2 here. I think we're better off at stopping at least one potential guy from sabotaging that railway line, or any railway line, but we'll go for that one up there. So it's the British turn for the first time. They get to go first. And lucky they did. It's a permanent card for the game. Curfews. At the start of reset, remove 1 cell to available from each space with a curfew marker. Yep. I'm taking that. So, start a reset. Reset is down here. If I pop it right there, where it's kind of in the way, I'll have no other choice but to remember it, in theory. What would it do for the Ergon player? At the start of Ergon may place up to 1 cell from available in each space with a curfew. Right. So that really ruins your benefit of having curfew markers out there. So that was the British turn. Now it's time for the crux, that's a word, of the game, of blowing things up and causing some damage. We'll do all the railways and this guy. He's not yes, technically he is adjacent to this arms cache, so it can be removed to do the sabotage action. We're going 4 spots. So we'll remove it, and that way it will automatically succeed. Should be using the red one, but oh well. Ding. Flip him. Where'd the red dice go? That's what you need the arms cache for. So no sabotage marker in some area. I probably don't want to remove all my arms caches. at this stage, so we'll just go raw. And the last one, also raw. He's no longer adjacent to that arms cache anyway, so couldn't get it. That's a 4, that succeeds. What was that? Sabotage. And since Terror only works in cities and no cities were selected, then we're not doing that action. Allen and Cunningham, restrained approach. British may conduct 2 limited operations, then a restore. British must place 2 cells from prison into any cities. Well, the word must there is a little bit jumping the gun a bit, as there are no guys in prison, so as the British player I wouldn't care if he got that one. 2 limited operations, then restored. So I can pick any 2, then restore. Remove curfew. Ooh, so this is good. I could probably get rid of, if I think this through enough, I could probably get rid of one of those sabotage markers using 2 operations and this. Remove the curfew, remove the sabotage marker in the space. Cool. It does need to be a space without Ergon, and I need to have troops and police in it. So that would place police and reposition troops. So that's a good way of setting the restore part up. One selected space, up to 3 districts or cities. I wouldn't be able to get them onto railways with that. And get the troops onto railways, but I'd still need to get a police onto a railway, and this would not be the way to do it. Move. Place. Remove cells to prison. May move any police to any destination space. Yeah. Any place. Yep. So, limited. So it's limited to 1 origin space or 1 destination space. 2 limited operations. I don't really want to activate them, but I like the idea of moving the troops. Remove Ergon. So the troops already have to be there. One space. So what's this? One destination space. And I still wouldn't have the police that I need on the railway tracks, so I have to do a patrol basically in order to get a police officer to a railway line. So just so I remember what I'm doing. Any police to any destination. Remove one active cell per police. So he can pop down here and be, oi, you posted a meme on Facebook. That wasn't very friendly of you. You're gotta go to prison now, lad. Apologise deeply for that. Yeah, the rest is if you have a intel shit, you can do a bit better. So, yeah, we're obviously just looking at the one space. We do the may move troops adjacent, stand of railway, yep. No, that's to activate. Oh, I need troops. Can I move troops? I don't know if I can do this successfully. Place these reposition troops. I can put a place anywhere. Then I can reposition troops. Oh, hang on. He's already been kicked out, so it's a space of no ergon. So the guys just have to move there. So they can move there via either search or deploy. It's kind of weird how it's reposition troops and this is move troops. Move might be a keyword that pertains to adjacency, whereas reposition may be, just teleport them anywhere you'd like. So it looks like one space, yeah. We're down to just one space. Which one's better? That gets an extra police on the board, which is pretty okay. More troops than Ergon. I would have to have more troops, and it would have to be a district, because currently the cities have equal Ergon. Spots, so police in a district. Yeah, any troops, any one space. I just need to move him there, and that's all that would need. Troops, police, no, yeah. And I could place a police officer either in Gaza or in Samaria. I guess that'll do. Do I want to reposition? What's the... Did I go with moving them? Move any troops to any one space. So you're stuck to moving to any one space. And one destination space. But you can move more than one. Yeah, we'll go for that. And pop a police officer next to him, since I have more troops here. That's from the Ergon players then. We have more troops here than we do Ergon. Cells or pieces? Because the arms caches are also Ergon pieces for part of the jargon. So we've gone with the top two. We've placed the police and move any troops to any one space. We may as well just bring this guy along to, in case an Ergon player pops up there, it'll make him harder to do things. And now that we've done those two as per the card, we then get to restore. So you would have to, in this instance, do the operations first and then the special activity of restore, which is quite as simple as out you go. Look at that. Fixing railway lines. Yeah. I thought about making a joke about local infrastructure, but yeah, I don't think it would land all that well. So that's done. He's taken the event, which leaves the Ergon player to likely try to set up, because we are at, so we're 3 cards in, so the propaganda card is going to be card number 567. So it won't be the next card, it could be the one after it. So we'll try to set up something. Or should we just move around? If I were to travel, and the destination ideally would be a railway marker, and the cell's moving, yeah, he'd be the 4th piece in that. And I don't think for scoring purposes, okay, for each sabotage marker in district, so for scoring the sabotage markers, points stack in districts by 2 for each railway marker with a sabotage marker. So they don't stack on railway lines, it's just either the railway line is sabotaged or it's not. Oh, hang on, I read that wrong. By 2 for each, no, that's the railway, and by 2 for each sabotage. This one specifies it's so it stacks in cities like it does in the districts. And 3 for terror markers. Terror only works in the city. could... He could jump in there. You can hop off and hop back on. These go... I can even jump into cities and give it a go. There's less there. There's only... you'd be moving... You'd be at 3 if you were to add the cubes and cells moving. So it'll just be the 1 and... So I think we'll go with a search. Big up. A search. Trouble. 3 origin spaces, but we still are lucky enough to be getting 4. So we'll move... Dude from there. I think we might be able to move this guy into there. It's with a curfew marker. Has a curfew marker, but the cell where he's moving from, there aren't enough cells for it to matter. So that's an interesting way of just really flipping guys over from where they are, but from a practical point of view and, playing the game properly. Oh boy. Playing the game properly, that's the main challenge. We've got 2 more spots, so he can go into there. Can they come from anywhere, or do they have to be adjacent? Any origin spaces. So they can come from any 4 origin spaces. And you can move, if there's multiple ones, you could move 2 of them out. They can't go to a railway because there's too many of them. They could all go into Huffia and try to get a Terra marker. They could all go into there. And that way so it is scoring, just to be sure, 2 for each railway, yeah. So just when I was talking, sabotaging this railway again won't be of any benefit, but sabotaging each one is 2 points, and obviously it's good in case they pull something out of their behind again, which lets them just sort out sabotage in 1 turn while an Ergon piece was on it. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, I'll have him jump off and jump back on. And is at risk of getting exposed? Yeah. So you can move any number out of a cell, it's the origin spaces we're counting. Out of 4. Do we get to yeet a police officer? Silence. Yep. We don't have undergrounds. We have a underground cell, but they all need to be underground in order to propagandize. So we're going to go silence and remove a police officer. Which one? Which one? Does it matter? Which one? We'll pick this guy. Yeah, because he can't spawn back in there, I don't think. One couldn't last time. Place it on this. I forget what that was about. Anyway, that's them done. What? The 4th card? I'm an idiot. There's already 2 cards out here. I've done that before. Oh man. Imagine getting 8 hours of sleep every night and being a functioning member of society. Wouldn't that be something? So, conduct a political will step. Then check victory if neither player won. Not the last propaganda card. Continue. Good. So, here's the tidying up phase, which maybe some of you, maybe sometime in the next 10 years, one person will be like, oh, good, finally, someone showed me how to do this. Lower political will by 1 for each sabotage marker in the district. So this is very, very easy. We can just jump straight away and say that there is only 1 sabotage marker and it's on a railway line. So it's 2 points, or rather 2 lowering of the will for the Ergon player, but for the British they get 3 points for the cities not being damaged. So it's up to 1. I think we can calculate it at this stage. Yeah. Right, so there's kind of clean up, or 3 stages to clean up, I guess you could call them. The Ergon player gets to rob in 1 district or city with more cells than police. So, because it says to rob, you do have to follow the instructions of rob, rather than just simply placing out the arms cache. So I do need to roll a 3 or higher. Yep. And there's restrictions on that. Huzzah for the Ergon player. That got to rob. Is it okay to do it when there's a curfew there? Districts or cities? Yeah. selected space may rob in, specifically said one space, didn't it? One district or city, yes. More cells than police. The British can get to draw an intel shit if they have 0, otherwise they discard half their shits. Hooray, 1. That's actually a lot more useful than you'd imagine. Haganah attracts 0, you get another intel sheet. After Haganah it's 4, then the Ergon player gets to place, instead of just rob, they get to place one arms cache in one district or city with a cell, and look at that, gets past all the restrictions. That happens at reset, where at redeploy, the British may move police to railways and any spaces with British pieces, that meaning troops. I don't think there's any other British pieces, at least not off the top of my head. When you then may move troops to any city, so you can just move guys around wherever you want, but the British guy kind of gets to set the board how he wants, and then the Ergon player gets to fix his wagon. So the railways or anywhere where there's British pieces. So there's British pieces up here. Obviously he's going to go up there. He'll get the fudge back into the city as well. I can move troops wherever I want, or then may move troops to any cities or railways. Okay. I can't move them out to districts. That's weird. I'll just these guys, what are they doing? That'll do for them. The Ergon player may move one cell to each city without a curfew, but all of them have curfew, so that's moot. Then may move one zones cache to any district or city with a cell, so we can move this. We can't move it to Lida. There's no cell. There's a cell here, so it doesn't say adjacent, does it? May move then may move one to any district or city. So I think leaving it here is a fine option. That shouldn't harass me too much. At the start of reset, which is now, so before remove all curfews, at the start of reset, remove one cell to available from each space with a curfew. Beautiful. Remove all curfew and sabotage markers. There's no terror markers. Yep. Return half cells from prison. No one went to prison. Flip all cells to underground. And set the Ergon player as first available. And that's pretty much how it. Draw the next card. Peter Bergson. Remove 2 arms caches from the map to available. You don't gain political will like you do generally when you remove arms caches. Place up to 2 arms caches totals with any spaces and cells. Right. Well, we won't play another turn. We ran for everything without messing things up too badly. I did forget to pop dudes in here when the Haganah track moves down, but it didn't affect. It came close to affecting the game. I believe I removed 3 guys from there, so there is that. That's great. But as you did see, I did get a bit carried away with maybe playing the fancy cards that I only managed to get off 2 sabotage markers, and one of them got removed. And yeah, maybe I'm not good at playing the Ergon player. Maybe I'm good at playing the British. Maybe I'm just not good in general. But yeah, leave your comments if you want, and I'll probably reply if I have anything to assist you with. But I guarantee the guys over at Board Game Geek that look after the forums do a much better job at thinking out problems and communicating than I do. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.